Yeah. Is it live? Yes. I think it is live. Just a minute, guys. Let me settle down with the participants. Hi, a bit blurry. Yes, I'm trying to figure it out. What can be the reason? Maybe some net speed and all. Okay, give me a minute. Just a minute, guys. Is it better now? I'll join it back. Okay, just a minute. I think some technical issue was there, but I think now it's better. Hi, Mohammed. Hello, Shita. Yeah, I think this chat is from some time back, but now it should be doing fine. Yeah, looking better to me. Great. How are you doing? Sorry for the technical glitch. Some net issue was there, so I connected with the LAN itself. Hi, Nitu. Hi, Mohammed. Hi, Shita. Hi, Rajiv. Okay. So let's start today. Today's topic is what? Today's topic is the dollar sign, the money. Everyone is regarding money, right? Everything is regarding money. Hi, Oveda. So today we will discuss about the dollar sign. Very, very basic concept. But I remember when I was training one HR head of a cosmetic company, roughly 5, 6 years back, she's mentioned that this particular topic is one of the component of the assessment of all the people who join that particular organization, and whether it is for a beginner person or for a very high level person, but this exercise is there, this excel exercise is there for all of them. So that's how important it is. It is basic, but it is must know for everyone. So there are different level of exercises which we have planned today. You decide which one you are aware of and how complex you can take it forward. Okay, hi Neha. Yeah. So I will share my screen. If you are looking for the file, the practice file is there in the chat. Just check the chat and you will be able to download it. Just update me on the screen side if my screen is visible or not visible. If my screen is visible or not visible, just update me. Okay, yeah, this is doing good. Okay, so we will discuss about, like, you might hear about it in different ways. One is absolute references, relative references, the use of dollar sign, or how to create a formula so that it works when we copy paste in some other range. Okay, that is the topic for the day. Okay, the dollar sign, the money. So we will first start with the very basic exercise. So here I am having some data set where some product related quantities and the prices are mentioned. What is the price for each quantity and how many quantities were sold? And we want to know what is my total sales value. That's a simple exercise. The links are mentioned in the chat. Just look at the first comment, the pinned comment, or you can go to the description of the uh, video. Okay. So then you will find each and everything. Okay. So now, so effectively, quantity is there, unit price is there, so total will be the multiplication of the two elements, right? So we will take this element and then multiply it by 2. So here equal sign to let Excel know that we are about to write a formula. We are about to write a formula. So equal sign, this cell multiplied by this cell. And when I press enter, I get to see the result. I'm getting to see the result if I press enter. Now, if I copy it down, it is giving me certain results. So 20 multiplied by roughly 80, that should be roughly 1600, which is the correct result. Okay, so looks like the formula is working. 900 multiplied by 5 should be roughly 4500. So formula is working. So we can manually also check if the results are okay or not okay. So in this scenario, there is no issue. And I think everyone can get it. Okay. Now let's move the same concept to the next sheet. So when we come to the next sheet, in this sheet, what we are doing, we are going to use these salaries of the people. These are some employees and their salaries. Now let's assume that the organization or whoever is calculating this, he needs to deduct some tax amount for these salaries. And the rate of tax is 18%. And then we need to calculate what is the net salary. So in this case, what I will do, everyone knows this, that I will multiply the 18% with the salary of the employee and I will get to know the tax. And if I deduct that tax from the gross salary, then I will see the net salary. So here the formula would be equal this cell multiplied with this cell. Very simple. B8 multiplied by tax rate, which is 18%. And when I execute this, I get 810. So 18% of 4500 is 810. You can use the calculator also to check. But when I drag it down, what happens? It gives me zero result. When I take it further down, like that, it is giving me something like 58 million. Look at Olivia. The tax amount for Olivia is 58,220,000. Now she will be mad when she sees these numbers. So this is what you may be facing. Many of you may be facing. As I said, it is a concept which you should know in the beginning. You should know in the beginning, but you might be already aware of it. So wait for the subsequent exercises. Now, what is happening over here? Let us understand that part. When we did it for the first cell, it was all doing fine. Take this cell, multiply it by this. And when I double click this, it is doing the same thing. But now I want to copy it down. I want to copy it down. So when I copy it down, look at this. So this is getting used, which I wanted to use the salary of the next person. But this cell also has moved. This cell also has moved by one level down, one row down. And that is the reason we are getting a blank cell. So obviously the tax will be zero. For this case, What is happening? It is using a text value multiplied by the numeric value. That's why you are getting an error also, number multiplied by text. And similarly, here, what is happening? It is actually moved so much that now it is multiplying the salary of Olivia with salary of David. And that's why the tax rate or tax amount is wrong. Okay. Let's get back to the previous sheet. Here, what was happening? We were multiplying this with this. And when we went down, the blue multiplied by red one, when we went down, both of them moved down. So in this case, that movement was desired. It was required from our end. But in this case, we want salary to move, but we don't want tax rate to move down because tax rate is only written in one single cell, B5. So what we need to do here, B5 should not be moving and B8 should be moving because B8 is salary of a particular person currently. So it should change to the next person. So it should move down. Okay. So we will freeze this portion of the formula. We will freeze this portion of the formula which we want to fix. How to fix it? There are simple ways. You need to put dollar. You can use shift and 4 and dollar sign can be added. You need to use dollar over here also because there are two components of the cell. One is B, second is 5, the column and the row. Okay. So actually you need to fix what should not be moved because when we move up and down the row number, the 5 becomes 6 or 4 or 3 or 8. When we move B left and right, so B may become A or it may become column C, column D, column E. So we need to think what should not move and that should have dollar before that component. We should have dollar before that component. And if you press enter, then you can drag it down and your formulas are working properly. The formulas are working properly. Because without the dollar, how Excel thinks? Excel thinks that the formula means B7 multiplied by C7. But that is how you think. Excel thinks relatively. Excel thinks that if I'm writing the formula in the current cell, I need to multiply maybe the cell which is on left of my side and one more left. Okay, so it focuses on the positions and the direction. It doesn't focus on B7 and C7. So here, this cell is one cell away, and this one is two cell away on the left side. So when we move down, it is still doing the same job. In this case, when we were doing it without the dollars, let's remove that part. When we were moving it, the formula without the dollars, what the formula was thinking, I need to multiply the cell which is on my left side with the cell which is on my left side, but four cells up. So same thing it was doing when I am dragging it down. Look at this. I am multiplying the cell on my left side with the cell which is 4 rows above. So it has moved that much. So in this case, what we want this to be fixed and the remaining portion to be moving. How to fix it? By putting dollars around the cells. Whatever component we want to fix, you can use dollar sign before that. Another way to put dollar sign is F4 key. So when I press F4 key, it can add the dollars. It can add the dollars and enter and dragging it down. So that is the simple formula modification which helped us to make it work properly. So far clear, everyone? So far everything clear? We have just touched the simple concepts and then we will try to increase the complexity one by one into each exercise. Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat if this is clear or not. Yeah. Anyone who was getting confused because of these things whenever he or she was writing formulas, let me know in the chat if this has helped you to gain some knowledge. Now, what was the net salary? It is gross salary minus tax. So that will be this minus this equal enter. And this needs to move properly because both the lines, both the items where we are taking the difference, they are all in the same row. So movement is fine for us. Now let's understand, let's take it to one more level up and let's understand this portion. Let's understand this exercise. A very simple exercise where we are trying to multiply some numbers. These numbers needs to be multiplied with these numbers. Okay, these need to be multiplied with these numbers. Yeah. Okay, it's a very simple exercise, like it's like learning tables, right? Multiplication tables, grade 4. So here, equal sign, that's my formula. I need to multiply a6 with this cell. Here I will multiply 9 with 5. Here I will multiply 6 with 7. Very simple calculation. But here, if I copy this and paste it in all these cells, look at the numbers. The same problem is coming again and again. And the number is becoming so big. Look at this. Something raised to the power 205. Such a big number. We can't even like read it properly. Okay. So how to fix the formulas? That is again the same challenges. You have understood the concept to some extent with the previous exercises, but what should be done so that whether we move the formula on the right side or on the left side or on the bottom or up, it should still work. That is the requirement which we have in front of us. This is the exercise which I was talking about, that HR had said that I give this exercise to everyone who joins my organization. Okay. Now, here we are having these two components in the formula and something needs to be fixed, right? Something needs to be fixed. Let's say we put dollars. We put dollars over here, dollars, and here also we put dollars and enter. Now what happened? We have fixed it to such a level that everything is fixed now. Everywhere it is multiplying 4 with 2 because these two cells are fixed. These two cells are fixed. So fixing also where it should be done, that needs to be understood properly. So in this case, let us understand. Let's remove the dollar sign. So first of all, let me show you that dollar sign can be here. If I press F4 again and again, look at this. It gives you many variations, sometimes with only row number, sometimes with only column number, sometimes with only like nothing. So if I press it 3, 4 times, everywhere, only row, only column, nothing, no dollar. Same thing over here also. Okay. Same thing over here. So this is my without dollar sign. Now what to fix? That is a challenge. So one way to look into it is what, like for understanding purpose, what you can do, you can write some sample formulas, some more sample formulas. So let's say I write one formula over here. So if I was writing it manually, I will take this cell, multiply it with this cell. And the result is 9 into 3, 27, working fine. If I write formula over here, I will take this cell, multiply with this cell. Just for the understanding purpose, I'm doing this. So I have written 3 sample formulas. And now If I go into the formula mode, what I see, these are the formulas which I have written. Now, in these formulas, what is common? Let us understand that part. The common thing is A, A, and A. That's one of the common thing. The second common thing is 5, 5, and 5. So whatever common is there between multiple samples of the formulas, you need to fix that part. You need to put dollar before that part. You need to put dollar before that part. That's the like simplest way to understand where to put the dollar. Okay. I will get back to the normal mode. This was my formula. So one thing was common, A. So I put dollar before A. The next thing was common as 5. So I will put dollar before 5. And now if I copy this formula, Control C, select this range and press enter. 10 into 15, that's 150. This cell, 5 into 6, that's 30. Perfectly working everywhere. What I used? I first used sample formulas and then identified what is common between the formulas, and I just fixed that particular part. And whatever is common, before that, we need to put the dollar, not after that. So A was common. Now let us also understand why A was common. A was common because some of the values which are required to be multiplied are in column A. Some of the values which are required to be multiplied are in row number 5, horizontally in row number 5. That's why A is supposed to be fixed and 5 is supposed to be fixed. So in one simple line, what you need to fix? You need to fix the place where data is residing, where data is living. It was column A and it was row number 5. It was column A and it was row number 5. So this section, just a wait, this section was common, and the another section which was common was this section. So we fixed both of them. Okay. Now we can't say the common thing is the data is living in B5, C5, D5, E5, F5. No, what is common? Row number 5 is common in all the data set. Column A is common in all the data set. That's why we need to use this. Clear? How to toggle normal mode to formula mode? Okay, so let me show you through the menu first. In the formula tab, there is an option on the right side. Look at this option. This option is show formulas. When I click on show formulas, it shows me the formulas directly. No calculation is happening. But don't leave it over there. It might be useful to check. Otherwise, you might have to go to each cell and double click and then check the formula. To remove it, click it once more and then it will return back to the normal situation. And now let me tell you the shortcut, because I didn't do that. Then how I was doing it. The shortcut is something like this. The shortcut name is control, and there is a sign, a wave kind of sign, which is the key below the escape key and above the tab key. We call it tilde. Okay, we call it tilde. You can name it anything, I don't know. It is on the left side of the exclamation mark, okay, or the one key. So this is the shortcut. So when I press control tilde, it shows me the formulas or the original values. Formulas or the original values. And you hit it once more, it comes back to the normal situation. Okay. So now you got to know what needs to be fixed. Let us try to do it one more time, because some people were saying, can you repeat it again? So rather than repeating it, I knew that it was like it will be requested. So I have created one more model over here. Okay. And today I've tried to create whatever scenarios you could face from different departments. So imagine that you are the boss of a company, or you are the HR head of the company, or maybe CEO of the company. We don't know. Okay. And there are some employees under you, and these are the salaries of those employees. And here you want to give an increment to all the employees, all these employees. So you want to increase their salary. And you are thinking, okay, I should give 5% raise, or 8% raise, or 10% or 15%. I would like to give as much as possible, but I need to see my profitability also of the organization. Okay. So I want to understand what would be my salary after the increase. And if I get to know what will be the total of the amount at 5%, 8%, 10%, and 15%, then I will be able to take a decision. So here I will be first writing a normal formula. This cell multiplied with 5%. Let's assume that we are calculating it for 5%. Now, if this is the formula, this is the formula, what we need to fix? We need to fix things which are common for every cell. We need to fix the things where the data is there. Now, in this case, the data, the salaries are there in column B. So we should have dollar before column B. So F4, F4, F4. Okay, so three times when I apply F4, it gives me column B before the dollar, like dollar before the column B. In case of C5, what should be fixed? 5%, 8%, 10%, 15%, that is there in row number 5. So 5 should be fixed, because when I move the formula from this cell to right side, then C should become D5, E5, F5, like that. So 5 should be fixed. So I don't need to go in between the cell and then before the dollar, then I before the 5, and then I will press F4. No, F4 is good. F4, both dollars, one more time. Oh, before the 5. So this works for me. Press enter and copy paste it. How to copy paste? Control C. Select this range. And for the pasting, you don't need to press Control V. You can simply press enter. It will be pasted in your selection automatically. It will be pasted in your selection automatically. Okay? Clear? So whenever you want to increase someone's salary, maybe you can make use of it. So what the boss wanted to see, okay, this is just the increase, what will be my total salary? So for that, the formula will not be this, it will be this plus this, it will be this plus this. So what we will do, we will add one more component over here, which is this cell. I want to add this cell. B7 is the original salary, and this is my increased part. Now here also I will need to fix. So out of B and 7, what is common for all the people? It is column B. So I will put dollar before the B column. Press enter. So earlier it was just showing the increment. Now it is showing 45 plus that increment, that is 47. Copy it and then select and enter. So earlier my total salary was how much? 376,000. If I give 15%, it will be 432,000. If I am having that much budget and it doesn't impact my other plans, then go for it. Otherwise, maybe 10%, maybe 8%, maybe 5%, or maybe nothing, depending on your situation. Okay, depending on your situation. Now, some of you might be thinking my F4 key is not working, it is not generating the dollars in the formulas. So, it may be possible because of your keyboard settings. So, if F4 is not working directly, what you can do, You can click on, you can press a function key. There is Fn key somewhere on your keyboard, function key, and then you can use F4. That's how I'm using. Okay. So it is related to your keyboard setting. What it requires is only F4, but how to execute F4, that may be dependent on your keyboard setting. Okay. So that's my next exercise. Now, similar to this, there is one exercise which you need to do. Okay. And let me know the results in the comment section later. Let me explain it first so that you can do it later. Okay. Because it is exactly same as previous one. What we need is, we were having some sales transactions in US dollars, and we want to know the value in local currencies, or maybe different currencies, because maybe we are reporting in different currencies. Euro is there, pounds is there, we have dirhams, we have Indian rupees also, and this is the exchange rate from USD to euro. So to get the euro amount, it will be USD amount multiplied with the exchange rate from USD to euro. Where to put the dollars, you need to understand, but I can quickly do it. Here, column A is common, so it will be F4, F4, F4. That's done. And in this case, row number 5 is common because all the exchange rates are in row number 5. Function F4, F4, and that's done. Now let me tell you a trick. Okay, since majority of the exercise was repetition only, let me tell you a trick to copy it down. So this cell, when I select, I've not copied it. When I select, I can press Control D, Control and D, D for down. What Control D does, it takes the content of your topmost cell in the selection. Currently, my selection is this area, right? My selection is this area. What is the topmost cell? The topmost cell is this one. So it takes this cell, the content of that cell or the formula of that cell, and pastes it over here, and every single cell. Okay. So topmost value, copy it down. Control D is the shortcut. Let me tell you one more shortcut. You can take this and select on the right side, and you can press Control R. The same formula is copied on the rightmost side also. Control D, Control D, and Control R. D for down side, R for right side. Don't try Control L and Control U because they don't work. Okay, these are the two which will work. So if this is already copy pasted, Control R, and then I select, now it is taking the top row. Control D, and everything is pasted. Everything is pasted as per my first row or first cell of the selection. How many of you were aware of Control D or Control R, or was it new to you? Let me know in the chat. And by the way, how many of you are not clicking the like button? If you are getting something value, then click the like button, subscribe to the channel also. I think currently 81 people are watching and only 15 likes are there. So you decide. You are in those 15 people or you are other, like 65 people. Okay. Abdul Chisti, new, Dilpreet, very good. Okay, amazing. For adding F4, Mary, as I mentioned, use the function key and then F4 will work. Okay, may work, depends on your custom settings. Good, very good. Okay, so this is done. Now let's go a little bit complex, little bit more complex. Okay, the data set is this. We have got sales of sales rep, region, and Q4 sales. These are the numbers for Q4 sales. Okay. So dollar is simple dollar. Dollar will freeze or fix and it will not let move. Now we just need to find different scenarios of the same concept. So I'm giving you roughly 8 9 scenarios where you can implement the same concept. Okay. So here we are having this data set of sales for some people in different regions, and we have certain commission structure. We have mentioned that we will give 12% commission for everyone based on their sales. So that's one part. But the management also says that if someone is doing really good, then we will give a super bonus of 5,000. When it will be given? The super bonus will only be given if your sales are more than 50,000. That means you're doing very good sales. So let me reward you by little bit extra. Okay. Okay. New but remembering shortcuts is important. That's correct. So see, the thing is, you don't need to remember each shortcut. You need to remember what you are doing regularly. Now, if this was something that you are double clicking that corner again and again to bring it down, then probably from the next time you will remember Control D. Or even if you don't remember, you will at least remember that Akhilesh was showing something which was helping me to copy something down or right side. And then you will again search for it, and then you will start remembering these things. So it depends on your uses. I have created, you can find it on YouTube somewhere. We have roughly 100 plus shortcuts already in the videos. Okay, there is a series of 5 6 videos. Go and check them out. I think one of the oldest videos from my side, 5 years old maybe. Okay, so 100 shortcuts I don't even remember. I remember maybe 20 25 out of them because I use them regularly. So that's the key. Utility is the key. Tia was aware of the control D. Okay, good. So let's work on this. There are two commission structures. One is 12% on all the sales. So that's equal sales amount multiplied by 12%. That's fine. But in this case, I want to change the sales, but I don't want to change the commission percentage. So this portion should be fixed. This portion should be fixed. Column B, column 5, column B, row number 5. And that's my commission. That's my commission based on my normal criteria of 12% of the sales. Second one is that person eligible for the super bonus or not? So, how to assess the eligibility of the super bonus? Super bonus says if you are more than 50,000 sales, then you are allowed for 5K bonus. Otherwise, no. So, here we can write a simple formula. If, if, what is the logic? The logic is simple. If my sales amount, if my sales amount is greater than or equal to my criteria of 50K, then it is yes, that means super bonus will be given. Otherwise, no, super bonus will not be given. Close over here. So that's also simple if function. And some of you might know it, some of you may not know it, but this is how we write that first you need to write the logic. What is the logic to decide these two results? And if this logic is true, every single criteria, whenever we are trying to compare something greater than, equal to, or less than, or something, there are only two possibilities, whether it is true or whether it is false. So if this logic, whatever I have written for the comparison, if that is true, then what value you want? So you want yes. If this is false, then what value you want? You want no. Right? Super bonus yes or super bonus no. This is fine in the current cell, but again we need to think what can be modified in terms of dollars. So C10, column C, column C, column C gives me my sales. So that C should be fixed. Function F4, F4, F4. C is fixed. B6, when I move down, B6 should be fixed. When I move to our right side, then column B should be fixed and row number 6 should be fixed. So it needs to be fixed in both the parameters, column as well as row, because this is just a single cell. There is no other utility nearby. Okay, so that is my formula, and control D, check. Always check the numbers manually, like a couple of sample values. So this one is more than 50k, that's why yes. This one is less than 50k, no. So result is perfect. Now they're asking, okay, fine, you have given me yes and no, but what would be the total payout for that particular person? Total payout, why total payout? Because he might be getting some normal commission, but he might be getting some 5,000 also here. Okay, he might be getting some 5,000 also. So what I will write over here, I can again write if if this value is equal to yes, close double quotes. If this value is equal to yes, then what would be the formula? The formula would be the original commission plus the super bonus. Like if he's eligible for super bonus, give him the value of the super bonus plus the normal commission, right? Comma, what if this is not yes? That means he is not eligible for the super bonus. That means give him the normal bonus, D10. Give him the normal bonus. Close it. Now you need to think what needs to be fixed. D10. What is D10? D10 is the commission. For the next row, you want it to become D11 or not? Yes. Here also D11, D12, D13. B7, do you want to become B8? No. After that it is empty or something else. Do you want to make it C7 or E7 or D7? No. So here we should fix it with dollars on both row and column. Here we should fix it, if at all you want to fix, you can. So first of all, you don't need to fix it. Why? Because the way I will use this formula, I will copy it only down. And when I copy it down, my row number changes, my column doesn't change. So D10 will become D11. That's what I'm looking for. Okay. So I don't need to fix even D over here. Technically, yes, we need to fix D because column D is having the values. But why do we need to fix when there is a when there is a possibility of its movement? Now, when I am moving only in one column, so column D cannot change to column E or column B, right? It will remain column D only. So that's why I can ignore to fix this. But let's say this I was moving left, right also. In that scenario, I will put dollar over here also as well as over here, because 10 I cannot fix because it is having multiple people, 10, 11, 12, like that, multiple people are there. And enter. Control down, control D, and the results are there. So multiple stage problem, what is my normal commission, whether I'm eligible or not, and then total pay, then total pay, total bonus. What if you have to write each and everything in one single formula, not in three things? Our main intention is, what is my total bonus, what is the total bonus for that particular person? Okay, what is the formula? If I don't need to write it in different columns, one single column I need to write. Let me show you. Let me show you over here. I will show it over here. I will minimize this little bit. And total payout. What will be the total payout? Total payout is nothing but this cell, my sales, multiplied with my commission. So that's my normal commission first. This portion until this part is normal commission. Okay. So I'll first write the formula for this single cell because that doesn't require any dollars. And let me see if that is working or not. And after that only I will think of locking things. Okay. So this is my normal bonus, sales multiplied by the 12%. Plus, I'm intentionally keeping an space. I'm intentionally keeping some space over here so that we can understand the two portions of the formula. They will not impact the result. The spaces, the extra spaces will not impact the results. So that's my normal commission. For the super bonus, I will say if my sales amount, that's my sales amount again, is greater than or equal to 50K, then it will be then it will be 5,000. Otherwise my super bonus, because this second portion I'm writing only for the super bonus, otherwise my super bonus will be 0. Okay, that is my formula. Normal commission and super bonus. Super bonus, when this condition is met, my sales is greater than the 50,000 criteria, then this is my super bonus. So let me add that value rather than manual cell, because I might change these numbers later on, maybe reduce, maybe increase. Okay, we don't know. So always use the cell references. Don't put the hard coded numbers in the formula. Now this formula, it's working or not working? 12,440, 12,440. So it's working perfectly fine. Then we will come to the dollar part. What needs to be fixed? So in this case, wherever you see column C is nothing but our sales. That needs to have dollar before C. So here I can put dollar. Here I can put dollar. Okay. Because that's my sales column. It needs to be fixed. B5. B5 is nothing but a single cell. Whenever you see a single cell, you need to fix it completely. So F4, that means dollar before column component as well as the row component. B6, same thing for that. B6 is nothing but the threshold when the bonus, super bonus is activated. So there also I will fix it completely. B7 is also a single cell. Single cell is good to fix with both dollars. That's it. Every single area is covered with dollars or without dollars. Press enter and then control down. Results are exactly same. Look at any row. Results are exactly same. So initially for the understanding purpose, maybe you can do the problem solving step by step. But once you are little bit more confident, then always try to minimize the number of columns for your output. So I would be giving maybe this data itself. That's more than enough. Okay. If someone wants more detail, then only have columns. Otherwise, don't increase the number of columns. Less is always more whenever you are looking at the data. Okay, because more columns, more informations will take the time of someone who needs to take decision on these numbers. Clear? This portion. Okay, normal commission and super bonus. We are combining multiple things now because dollars will not be used standalone always. Dollars are required in some formulas, and those formulas can be anything. It can be if function, it can be VLOOKUP function, it can be anything. Okay, so you just need to understand what is dollar, what is without dollar. Without dollar, it is nothing but relative. This is relative. Where no dollar, that means it will move if we copy paste the formula. Absolute means it will not move. This component is not moving in the formula. This component is not moving. That's absolute. And when we have a cell where something is moving and something is fixed, that is known as mixed reference. So absolute, which doesn't move, relative, which keeps moving, and mixed means it is a mixture of both the things. It is a mixture of both the things. Same. So we have completed this part as well. Now let's understand this part. Interesting exercise. Okay, let's see if you can come up with some formula. So first, in column C, what we want, we are looking for 3 months average. We are looking for 3 months average. So as soon as there are 3 months, I need to put the average over here. So for this cell, obviously I cannot create a 3 months average because there are no 3 months. Okay. So what I will be doing, I will start from this because this only has 3 months sale. So I can take the average of them, which is 44,000. You can see over here, 44,000. By the way, I have seen many people, they look at the total at the bottom, total or average or whatever. Okay, 44,000, and then they start typing something like this, 44,000. I was also doing it for a very long time. But let me tell you a trick which I learned after some time. Whenever you are, let's delete it. Whenever you are selecting something and there are some summaries appearing over here, what you can do, you can click on that summary. It is getting copied automatically, and then you can use it anywhere. You don't need to type it manually. What I did, you can select, you can click, and then you can paste it anywhere. So this trick I learned from someone. Otherwise, I used to type it manually. And I'm sure that many of you might be typing currently also manually after looking at the summaries. Okay. So start using that part also. Now, here we need to create a 3 months average because maybe my sales are going up and down and I cannot rely on this fluctuation of each month. So I need to take an average, take an average. So 3 months at a time, that gives me a perfect scenario. That gives me a proper scenario of what is happening in my business. Okay. So here I will start from here. I will simply write equal and then average function of how many cells? These cells, three cells, B6 to B8, and enter. That is giving me 44,000. We have verified it already. That's 44,000. Okay. So sometimes I do 42, sometimes I do 38, and sometimes I do 51, but 44 number I can say average. On an average, I do 44. And when I drag it down, I can calculate it for any 3 months. So this 58 is nothing but average of these three. This 72 is nothing but average of these three. Look at Q4. Q4 average is 72, highest. Okay, and then it's again going down. So this concept is working because it's all relative. 6 to 8, next one becomes 7 to 9, next one becomes 8 to 10, and like that it is moving permanently as we move down. Column B is not moving because column B is getting used vertically only. That's why it is not moving. That's why it is not becoming C or D or E. And 13, 14, 15 row numbers are changing. Very simple concept. Now, let's calculate year till date sales. Year till date, anyone who is not aware of year till date, let me know in the chat. Year till date is nothing but cumulative total from the beginning of the year until the end of the year, or whatever months we are talking about. So I'm talking about Jan. So Jan YTD year till date will be 42 thousands. Jan YTD will be 42 thousands. Feb. Feb YTD will be this plus this, both of them together. Okay. These two cells combined together. I can put it something like these two cells. Right? For March, it will be all the sales until March. All the sales until March. So how should I write the formula so that I don't need to write the formula in every single cell until the end of the year? Because I am not going to write the 12 formulas, right? That's like time taking, as well as I can do mistakes if I'm doing it something manually again and again. So what modification we can do? Concept is simple. We need to take the average from the beginning of the year until the end of the year, or until that particular month which we are talking about. So we were talking about March, so that's why it is taking this sum until this 3 months. If we talk about September, it will take summation until September, which is 471,000. Okay. So now, uh, Air Abela is giving me one formula. Very good. Possible. But that formula needs to be changed in every cell. So what is the formula? I can say this is equal to this, because for the first month it will be same. But for the second month, what I can say, it will be this month, that means sum until the previous month plus the current month, plus the current month, and then I can drag it down. Let's check. 687, 687. Let's check for July. That's 355, and it's 355. Okay. This, and then formula is same. We just copied it. The first cell is having the different formula. That's the only part. Rest is same. Here, if you look at the formula, control tilde, after that the formula is same. It is automatically changing. Two cells are getting added. Which two cells? The upper one and the left one from column B. Simple formula. Now let me give you one more possibility of this. Okay. Let me give you one more possibility. Effectively, what we need to do, we need to sum it until my current cell from the beginning. When I'm writing the formula here also, from the beginning until this, when I'm here until this point, from the beginning. So what needs to be fixed? Beginning. Now watch this. Equal sum. What if I say this added colon and then same cell, B6 to B6? What is the sum? It is 50. It is 42, 500. I'm saying add the range B6 to B6. So that is only one cell. So value is 42,000. This is the beginning point and this is the ending point. In this case, both are same. What I will do, I will say the beginning, let's fix it. The ending, let's not fix it, because when I want to move down, the ending will be different. When I move further down, the ending will be even more different. So I will fix the beginning component, not the ending component. And now that gives me the same results. Much simpler formula, and it is not having a variation in the first cell as well as the subsequent cells. but so simple because of our previous knowledge of what to fix and when to fix. How many of you have understood this part? And if you feel that how can I write this b6 is to b6, no worries. Maybe you can write the formula at some other place. Write the formula at some other place. Okay? I am saying sum and which range? From the beginning until this range. So now it is not showing b6 up to b6 because that is little bit weird. In this formula, I will take this cell and freeze it, and this letter portion, I will keep it free. Close parenthesis, take it up, take it down, we are still getting the same results. Only if you feel weird to write b6 to b6. Okay, b6 to b6, maybe some people may not feel comfortable. Why are values showing as text? No, values are not showing as text. Okay, it is just a warning sign. This is not a representation of the text. So let me first show you what Dilpreet is saying. Okay, so Dilpreet is saying that this green icon on the top left corner of the cell, why it is coming? Okay, so this may represent text, but it is actually a warning sign. It is not a definite representation of something. It is a warning sign. The warning says in the previous cell you are having a different formula b6 to b6, and here you are having a different formula b6 to b7, and here you are having a different formula b6 to b8. So maybe you typed a wrong formula because your formula generally in a column is more or less same. That's why it is guiding you possibility of errors. Okay, it is not a definite like judgment that these are errors. I wanted to do it this way. I wanted to have a different formula. It is still working for my requirements. So what you can do, you can take these cells, and then this warning sign is there, and you can say ignore this error because this is what I was intending to do. Okay, this is just a like alert for you. Maybe there are some errors, maybe not. You go and check it. So wherever you see these things, select all of them and make sure in the topmost cell you have the green cell at least. Then you can easily say ignore all of them. No problem. Because this might come in the printing of these sheets, or when we send it to someone else, then this might come. So then they might doubt it. So you need to take care of it before that. So that was the data of previous year. Now in this scenario, I will again copy it down. But what I will do, I will change the initial reference from B6 to maybe B18. So this B6 should be B18. And then I can again move the formula. It has again told me, okay, there is a difference in the formula. So please take care of your errors. If there is any, otherwise say ignore errors. So we just change the reference point, the beginning point, because our year is starting, the new year is starting. So my addition should happen from this month, not the previous year's first month. Okay, not previous year's first month. And now there is an interesting problem. These are my YTD sales of the previous year. These are my YTD sales for respective month for the current year. I would like to know where I am growing or not growing. So here I can write a formula, take this cell, divide it by the previous year's YTD sales for the same month. Like I need to go 12 months back, right? This is Jan. So I need to go to Jan 24 minus 1. And that's 15%. When I drag it down, it is doing it for this also. When I drag it down further, it is doing everywhere 15%. So maybe these numbers are fictitiously made everything is increasing by 15%. So that's fine. Let's check the numbers. Let's say my this cell was something else. Let's say this cell was 59,000, and now you can see this is only 9% growth. So numbers are working fine. Okay, numbers are working fine and same. So that's my YTD problem. Anyone having any questions, please put it in the chat. Your likes are still welcomed. Okay, 38 people found the value. Remaining are, I think, not finding any value for the today's session. 40 people actually. Okay. Can you explain minus one? Minus one, Dilpreet, minus one is the region. So this is our current year. This is our previous year. So if this is 68, this is 60, sorry, this is 48, and this was 42. So I have had 6,000 extra. But when I take the ratio 48 by 42, it is not giving 6,000. It is giving me a fraction. It is giving me, let's say, I don't put this minus 1. It is giving me 115%. But 115% is not the change. It is including the previous sales also. Okay. So you need to deduct that D6 part. So minus 1 is for that part. Or another way to write this function is, what is the different? What is the change? Change is nothing but this minus this. The two cells, 2 years sales, right? Divided by my base. My base here is this cell. So this is nothing but when you open the bracket, D18 divided by D6, and D6 divided by D6 is nothing but minus 1. Okay. So one way or other, you are getting the same formula. Yeah. So that is the formula for YTD percentage, guys. This is the growth rate. Okay. Take the previous year, take the current year, divide by previous year, minus 1. Okay. Now, let me see if there are some more questions in the chat. Yes, it's simple algebra actually. Uh, what does the green arrow mean? I think I've covered most of the questions. Any questions? Any further questions, guys? Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat if there are any more questions. So by now, you are clear where to add the dollars. So who can comment in the chat where to add the dollars? How will you think? Where to add the dollars? You will add dollars where my data is there. If my data is vertically placed, maybe a particular column, before that I will use the dollar. If my data is in a particular row, I will use it before the row number. If it is in a mixed portion, okay, then I will use some portion with the dollar, some portion without the dollar maybe. If it is a single cell, then I will freeze it completely, dollar, like in both the components, row as well as columns. Yeah, the places that are more common. Absolutely, Jose. Those are the places that are more common. Okay. Now, uh, there are two additional exercises which I want you guys to do. Okay. On your own. I want you to do on your own. Or let me do this sum ifs one, and the last one you need to do. So let me do this one. And once you are done with this, you need to put the results in the comment section. You need to put the results in the comment section. Okay. So here, let's first complete this because this knowledge and this knowledge, both of them will be required in this one. Okay. So some ifs. So what we want is we want a summary. We want a summary where data says country is there, category of the product is there, what product they are purchasing that is also there, and this is the sales amount with respect to that transaction. But I want to create a summary out of it because looking at a particular data from a human perspective, it's difficult to understand. So what you need to do, can you give me a summary over here? Can you give me a summary over here that what is the sales for electronics in USA? And I should not be doing it like this. USA electronics, okay. The total is 7,700 and paste it over here. That's not the way to do it. So it is nothing but this is sum of the sales, sum of the sales. That is what I am looking for. But not sum of all the sales, some of the sales where the country is only electronics. As well as, okay, not the country, sorry. The product category is only electronics. And the country is USA. So we need to apply some conditions. Some if this happens, then only sum. Otherwise, don't sum. So there's a function known as sum ifs. Sum if and sum if. You will find two functions. The role of these two functions is nothing but this is only for one condition, this is for multiple conditions. My suggestion is always use sum ifs because this can accommodate one condition or multiple conditions. Here, what it requires, let us understand that part. It says, what do you want to sum? Always focus on this help. What do you want to sum? I want to sum these cells. I want to sum these cells. And if I close it over here, enter, it says, but you said that there are some ifs. So please mention those ifs. Sum if what? So I'm going back again and I'm saying, okay, sum this range, then comma. Then second thing which is asking is, which the function is asking is criteria range. What is the criteria based upon? The criteria is based upon maybe the countries. So these are the countries. So criteria range I have given, but what is my current criteria? The current criteria is nothing but my current cell, right? USA. Where was USA? It was little bit on the left side. And if I close it over here, when I press enter, look at this 16,350. USA sales are these only. Let's sum them up. 16,350. 16,350. So that's working fine. What we said, sum this portion and check in this portion if it is equal to this country. Working fine. But that's only one of my criteria. What about the second criteria? So, comma, it says, okay, if you have second criteria, then give me the range to check that criteria also. So second criteria is nothing but depending on the category. Where is the category? Category can be matched over here. Category can be matched over here. But where can I get my current category for which I am calculating these numbers? The current category, I can take it from this cell. The current category, I can take it from this cell. I am checking for electronics currently. Fine. Enter. 7700 electronics US. These two cells 7700. Number is working fine. Now I need to figure out what to fix because there are so many things in the formula. There are so many things in the formula. So let us understand. Let me zoom it little bit out. And let me mark some ranges. So this is what you want to sum, right? This is what you want to sum, red cells, right? That's this one. Then you want to check your country over here in these blue cells. So that's your blue cells. Then you want to match your, so that's your blue cell. And then you want to check the next country, next category from this category column. So let's make it green. And that's my second criteria. So that is this one. Okay. So no matter I'm writing formula for this cell, or I'm writing it for this cell, or I'm writing it for this cell, these three areas are going to be same because I need to check it in the country, I need to check it in the category, I need to sum the sales. So for sure, these sections need to be fixed. So wherever there is a range, that needs to be fixed. Okay, that's simple part. After that, what is left? After that, I'm left with this cell, F8 and G7. F. F is this cell, right? So F8 will become F9 when I move it down. F10, F11, F12. Fine. So F should be fixed because 8, 9, 10, 11 needs to be moved. For different countries, it needs to change the row. So F needs to be fixed. Now in this scenario, electronics, G7 is electronics. G7 currently is electronics, but I want to do it for clothing. So that will become H7, I7, J7. So that means 7 is required to be fixed, and here F is required to be fixed. So we have understood all the issues that my ranges, wherever that colon is coming, D6 to D30 or B6 to B30 or column A, they need to be fixed completely. Okay, they need to fix completely. I'm pressing escape. It's simple. Let me put dollar completely in this function F4 in my case. Sorry, just a minute. Yeah, function F4. For the column A also, complete fix. For B column also, complete fix. So this red, green, and blue, they got fixed. Let's come to F8. Here, F was required to be fixed. F4, 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 and here G7 is required to be fixed. So only 7 is required. So initially, write the formula, take some time, think properly, logically, where is my data and what needs to be fixed, and then modify the dollar sign. And then once this cell is done, then only Control C and enter. Because nobody likes to write this formula 20 times. And this will make you nuts if you have to write it again and again. After that, what is the total of electronics? What is the total of clothing, food, furniture? What is the total of USA? You need to fill in all these places. Let me tell you a trick for that. Select the whole range, including this range, and alt equal. Look at the formulas now. That's correct. This is correct. Everywhere things are fixed. What I did, let me undo. I selected this whole range, including the nearby total column and the subtotal column. In fact, if even if I don't do that part, I think it will still work. Even if I select this much, alt equal sign, it will do for this side, alt equal on this side. You can see this, and that's why I did completely that. If I select all of them, it understand where the formula needs to be populated, the summation formula. Okay, so we have understood now how to do summation based on certain conditions, and sum ifs is the function. Sum ifs. We have also understood how to use dollar sign and what is the purpose of dollar sign. When you want to fix, it's like, okay, see, this cell is my guy. Let it retain the position. Take this money. So we are kind of virtually bribing the formula that please keep it working, make it working. Okay. So you need to pay the money at the right places. That's it. Otherwise, your money will go waste. So with all this knowledge, you can go through the video again and again. Okay. And again, we have covered the simplest exercise, which can be simple, super simple for many people. Okay, but slowly and slowly we increase the complexity relative to absolute to mixed, and then multiple variations of mixed, and then commissions, and then this is for YTD and monthly average, and this is based on the condition. Everywhere dollar utility was there. Wherever you will write the formula, the dollar sign will be required. Otherwise, you will have to write complex formulas. If you are doing financial statements, if you are doing financial modeling, if you are doing any kind of templates and all, okay, these formulas and dollar sign will play an important role. Okay, now this is the homework for all of you guys. This is your homework or exercise or anything. What you need to do here is the transaction of sales for a particular customer, what he is buying on what date. Here is the payment from that customer. Okay, these are the payment, these are the sales invoices. You need to pick up a particular customer, let's say Delta Corporation, and for each month end we need to know how much was total purchase until that month. So cumulative total, how much was the total paid, and what is the balance, which is this minus this, so that we can tell any person, we can tell at any point how much is your balance, whether you owe us some money or we have some advance belonging to yours. Okay, a simple requirement, but you need to think of it based on the previous learnings. And once you complete this, I would like to know the formula of these two things. Okay, this formula, this formula with the proper dollar signs, both the formulas, and then the balance is nothing but the difference between the two. Okay, so that is expected of you, and let's see how many people take this action. Because learning when someone is teaching is one thing, but when you will do it on your own with these learnings, then only the real transformation can happen. So looking forward to your comments after the session. That's it. How was the session today? How was the session? Anything new which you learned? Put it in the chat. What was that new thing which you learned today? Okay. If you can hit the subscribe button and like button, that will help people to notice this video more and more. And that will also motivate us to come live every week. With this, thank you so much. See you in the next video. And we are also publishing these videos on Sundays or Saturdays, also weekends, so you can go through them also. And we have launched an Excel program recently. You can approach us in the comment section, and then we will provide you the details. Okay, so if you want to learn Excel in a more structured manner, then let us know. Thank you so much. Bye bye, take care. It was good and learned good. Yes, very nice. Dollar sign to fix variants. Yeah, I joined late, but it's awesome. A lot of new things learned. Mary, good. Okay, guys. See you in the next video. Bye bye. Thank you, Veena.